Hi, my name is Jennifer. I am a group exercise instructor and physical therapist. Today's class is a Pilates class and you need one weight. Somewhere between 5 to 10 pounds is fine. Everything's optional with the weight, so you can always put it down if it's not working for your body or if you have any pain with it in the shoulders. We're doing a lot of lat pullovers with it and rows and things like that. Kind of just modifying and doing some kind of fun options for some traditional Pilates. So grab your mat, grab one weight if you've got it, and if not, that's okay. And let's get started. All right, so starting on hands and knees position, hips are over your knees, shoulders are over your hips. I want you to start to just kind of round and press through that back, getting a little flexion. But when you do that, I want you to make that a contraction with those abdominals. Reverse that, pull it in, squeeze through that tummy, and reverse. Start to engage that pelvic floor with it. So as you're squeezing up and in, your pelvic floor is lifting, as well as that transverse abdominal muscle. Start exhaling with that. Really be mindful of your breath. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale, and release it. And then from here, I want you to go ahead and take one hand up behind your head, and I want you to twist it open and close, open and close. And when I'm coming back to close, I'm just coming to neutral. I'm not going beyond that. This is kind of helping warm up our shoulder joints too, kind of prep us for some of that weight work. One more time, put that hand down. Keep that pelvic floor and that transverse abdominal muscle engaged. Other arm, lift, lift. One more, and release. Bring your hands a little bit farther forward on your mat. Bring your feet together, knees a little wider. I want you to drop down into a child's pose and then press back forward into like a plank position. So we're kind of in this weird frog leg. Press it back, lengthen those lats, flex those shoulders, pressing forward, and just kind of moving the hips, but really getting those shoulders prepped for the weight work. Let's do one more. And come back to neutral. Re-engage through that core. Extend right leg back and slide, pull it in. Other leg, slide back, squeeze your quads, squeeze your glutes. Trying not to have your body weight shift. So think about like a glass of water right on your butt. Then I want you to do a hip extension back, kind of kick up and down, just singles, alternating kick and down, keeping that tabletop nice and tight. One more, and release that. Go ahead and come on off those wrists, and let's lay down on our backs. All right, so grab that weight, come on down. We're gonna start with a curl, and we're gonna press that weight straight up towards the ceiling with an option of where our legs are. So in this position, close and lift through that pelvic floor, okay? So if this is your first time in class and you're not sure what the heck your pelvic floor is, it would be if you were holding in gas or holding in urine, that's that muscle group, okay? So close and lift that up and in. Transverse abdominal muscle, one of the 4 belly muscles you've got. Deep, it's gonna compress your belly to your spine. So at no point during class should your belly bulge, get bigger, poof outward. It should always be compressed, okay? So keep that down and in. Taking the weight, I'm gonna hold mine on either end. You can hold it more goblet style, that's totally fine. But we're gonna start with a curl and a press. So get your core set, come up into a press and back down. Press it up and back down. Now, could you hold it on your chest and curl? Sure. And again, in Pilates, it's not about the height of the curl. You're maybe clearing that shoulder blade area, and that's all I've cleared from the floor. So usually as people come up way too high into a curl is when they get in trouble and their belly really poofs out, bulges, gets bigger, which is the opposite of what should happen. Now, if that feels okay and you want to bring your feet off the ground, you can start to keep them closer to your butt, or you can start to straighten them out. Now you can point or flex your feet, I don't care, and press, press, press. Breathing, exhale, exhale. Now we're adding one more option. As you press up, your legs are going to abduct, okay, out to the side, and you're going to come back in when you lower. Pressing up and lower. Press and lower. Now you could go butterfly on the floor, so your knees could drop out and in. Same thing here. Open out and in. So you can add that movement onto any of those options. One more, hold it up, drop that weight through, try to reach, 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 reach. So if I'm here or here, same thing. Now pulse and push, 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 push. Four, three, two, and one. Bring it up, lower down. Okay, moving on. This is where we got a boatload of lat pullovers here. So really listen to your shoulders. So lat pullover, we're going to be dropping those arms back and pulling it back over your chest, okay? If your lats are kind of tight, as you drop back, you're listening for that edge, because if you go beyond it, your back is going to arch up and it's going to come off the mat, okay? It's kind of hard to see my arch there. So your shoulders should be dictating kind of how far back you can go, as well as being able to keep your low back glued into the floor. So you can start here with your feet down and corset. You can start with those feet up. If that feels stable, then you can start to move them away from you a little bit. So a little longer lever. And then we're going to add some movement. So as you drop the arm down, you're going to tap the floor with a leg and bring it back up. Other leg. Tap and in. So if I'm on the floor, what you're going to do is you're going to do a reverse. You're going to pull one knee in and you're going to do a march at the same time as you do that, okay? But if your feet are up, it's a drop as you go back. So dropping and pulling and dropping and pulling. Again, if that feels stable, one more notch upward, you're going to straighten those legs back out, and you can either stay there or you can drop that leg as your arms lower back. Think about that length in those legs. Lengthen them out. Reach right out through your feet, whether you're pointed, again, or flexed. I don't care. But really keep that low back glued down. There's no particular rhythm or speed here. So whatever feels good for you and your shoulders. Be breathing. Couple more. Now hold one leg down, hold the arms back, and just move the arms. So legs are hovering. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch your legs, hover, lower 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring those legs up, lower them down, and lower the weight. Give your hands a little bit of a break. Try to grab that so I don't have to like death grip my weight. It starts to bother my hands after a while. Okay, so we're coming into a chest press with a single arm and a twist, rotation. So put the weight in one arm and you're in a chest press position with that. So my arm, elbows out about 90 degrees. It's bent at 90, and then we're gonna be pressing. So normally you would press straight up, but this time we're gonna be pressing over into a curl, or that rotation, okay? So firing the obliques a little bit more. Keeping the feet down for this one, belly nice and tight, pelvic floor in. Here we go, press over. Control the lower. Press over, 2. Press over, 3. 4. So crisscross modification here. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. We have 5 more. 5. Concentrate on that core. 4. 3. 2. And 1. And switch that weight to the other arm. Arm out to the side for some balance. Get those core muscles set. Press over and reach across. Curl and twist. 1. 2. 3. 4. And you really kind of want that exhale right here at the end. 6. Tuck that chin, lengthen your neck. 7. 8. 9. 10. 5 more. 4. 3. 2. And 1. And release that weight down. Now we're gonna come into a half roll back. So grab a hold of your leg or one or two legs, kick yourself up and come into sitting. So half roll back today with this. The weight is actually gonna help us a little bit. So we're gonna do a hold first, and as your weight goes away from you, it's actually gonna help balance you out. So it's kind of playing with physics, right? Levers. Okay. Feet are flat, knees are squeezed together, nice and tight. Your belly is pulled back, sit up nice and tall to start with. And from here, you're gonna roll back like you normally would, tucking your tailbone underneath you, hollowing that belly into the back. So create that C curve, that C spine here. And then you're gonna press your weight out, but then roll back farther. You should be able to go quite a bit farther back because that weight is helping counterbalance you. And I want you to hold, take a look at the belly, keep it compressed in, breathe. Bring it in and up, give it a little break. I'm gonna kind of hug myself up a little bit just to give my back a break. And we're gonna do that again. Holding your weight, nice tall posture, squeeze your knees together, get some bonus inner thigh. Core set. You're gonna roll back to where you feel like you can hit that edge. Like, that's about my edge right there. But if I put my weight out, I can go way farther back. And again, some of it's dependent on how big your weight is. So if you have a 5-pound weight, it's not gonna counterbalance your body weight a ton, but you should be able to go back some more and kind of feel that weight helping you, but at the same time, harder on the arms. Now, without going anywhere, see if you can bring that weight towards you to where you feel like, you wanna go up because it's starting to lose its effectiveness, and then push back out, and then pull it in, and out. So wherever that fine line is for you, I get to about there, and I'm like, I'm either gonna roll back or I'm gonna wanna sit up because that weight is ceasing to help me at that moment. One more. And bring it up. Whew. Put that weight down. Sit up nice and tall. All right, we're gonna counterbalance that flexion with some extension, okay? So we're gonna do a back plank, a reverse plank, however you wanna call it. So legs are gonna be out, extended and long. Hands are into the mat. So fingers can face your feet. They can point outward a little bit if that's more comfortable for your shoulders, it's fine. It's hard to modify this one if the shoulders aren't great in this position. Modifying it for ease would be to do a butt lift from here. You could come all the way down flat and go up into a bridge with your lifting your hips if you needed to get off your wrists and your shoulders, okay? All right, here we go. Get that core nice and tight and then press up, lifting those hips. Try to keep those kneecaps pointed up towards the ceiling. Don't let your feet roll out. Keep them together. Push, 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 push. These are always my nemesis. This is truly where I'm like the weakest. Some of that hip extension. Lower down and get off those wrists. Just give them a break. We're gonna do that one more time. All right, here we go. Hands down, go ahead and press it on up and hold. And release down. And again, come off those wrists, kind of flex them back the other way. Now we're gonna stay up here for saw, okay? So it does require a little bit of hamstring length on this one, depending on how far apart your legs are gonna go. But for now, I want you to move your legs just wide of your mat and flex your feet. So you're in a V with those legs, okay? So I'll show you side and then I'll flip myself so that you can see me from the front as well. Arms are gonna start up 90 degrees, hitting the wall. I'm gonna move my buns over just a little. All right, so 90 degrees up with those arms. Your back should look like it's on a wall, okay? So this is the start and the finish for each rep. Make sure you're all the way back here, tall. 4 breaths, 4 moves. So as you inhale, you're gonna turn to face your leg. So you want your chest kind of in alignment with that kneecap and that foot. Keep your feet flexed. As you flex forward, active sitting curl. It's not just gravity allowing myself to blob down. We can all do that. You have to really think about compressing and tightening your belly, pulling your chest down, okay? At the same time, your pinky finger is going to go to pinky toe, and this arm just reaches back behind you. Then you come back up to your sitting position and you unwind. Other side, you would inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, okay? So everybody's at their own pace on this one. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So you might be going farther into your flexion, so it might take you more time. Maybe you're slower, maybe your flexion is smaller. Now, if you want to make it harder, you go wider with your legs so that you really have to twist farther and then flex. okay? So if I'm gonna face you a little bit more so that you can get an idea, it's twist, flex, up, open, here, down, up, here. So try not to make everything one giant motion. Don't be like, woo, woo. Okay, inhale. I know that was a lot of instruction, but this one is traditionally done very wrong in class. Like, I don't know what happens. Just think about those 4 distinct moves. Twist, flexion, straight back up, unwind. Twist, breathe, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. You do get a lovely hamstring stretch too. But your legs are active, so it's not like it's a stretch, it's like an active lengthening. Quads are nice and tight, pelvic floor is lifted, belly back. One more to each side. Stay nice and strong. And hold, posture, posture, posture. And then release it down and bring those legs in. Grab your weight. So you got a couple in a row with no weight, but now we're right back with the weight again. This one's gonna be a 100 modification, and it's kind of fun. So you're gonna put your weight actually on your legs, on your ankles, and that's gonna kind of drag our legs down and make this more difficult. But the arms are gonna be exactly the same. So we're still gonna be doing our inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and our staccato breath, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. So as an option, you're taking your weight, bend your knees in, okay, come up into your curl, and you're gonna place that weight right on top of your ankles. And it doesn't hurt, surprisingly. You'd think like metal would kind of hurt, but I don't know, there just must be like a perfect little divot there, because it really doesn't. Now, I can keep that weight really close to me. See how my knees are like over my belly button and I'm really hugged in close? That's not gonna be as much drag as pushing those legs out away from you. So if you're here and you're in your curl and you're pumping for your 100, you can put your feet down, no weight. Do this, no weight. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now I'm gonna push my feet out a little bit. Problem is balancing my weight. There we go. It was easier when I had shoes on earlier in the week. So curling, belly flat, reach through those fingertips. And then inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also do a traditional 100 if you're familiar with it. That's fine. Arms are a strong pulse. It is not soft and fluffy. Hit it. Last few breaths. Bring it in, grab the weight, and put it down. That was easier when I had shoes on earlier in the week. I tend to teach around like a cardio class, so I already had my tennis shoes on, but that was still very doable. Okay, roll over is what we're gonna do next. Not you rolling over, but the exercise roll over. So the hamstring lengthening that we did and saw is gonna be a little helpful here. So your legs are gonna start straight up, nice strong press into the mat, okay? Then from there, you're gonna pick your butt up. So it's a sit up, but with your lower body. And then we're gonna do a nice eccentric, controlled lower down. So from here, pressing those legs overhead, exhale. If you have the hamstring length, you're gonna touch the floor. You're gonna go shoulder width. You're gonna flex your feet, and you're gonna roll down as slow as you can with your legs as close to you as possible, back to start. Now, you do not have to touch the floor. Do not sacrifice your neck for touching the floor. My weight was still into my shoulders. It was not in my neck. So I could move my head side to side if I want to. Please do not do that. The floor touch is not the important piece. So if we're modifying, you can roll it over, don't touch the floor, and roll down. You can modify to picking butt up, bending the knees, picking the butt up, so, or anything else that your little heart desires if you want to skip this one, okay? Here we go. At your own pace, strong exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to prep, belly tight, pelvic floor in. Exhale, push. One more time. And release the legs. Nice job. All right. Now from here, we're gonna flip over. Now we get to roll over. And we get to go into that quadruped, that hands and knees position that we did when we first started. This time we're gonna have some rows. So we have 40 pulses in a closed row position and 40 pulses in a wide row position. So if you're looking at me from underneath, what is gonna happen is once we're in our hands and knees position, the other arm is gonna have the weight and it's gonna be pulsing straight up towards the ceiling in that closed position. We'll switch sides, and then the second round will be a wide row pulse, okay? So pick whichever arm you wanna do first. Get those hips over those knees, belly nice and tight, grab that weight, pelvic floor in, and then you're gonna pull that up. We're in the close row position, okay? 40 pulses, I know sounds like a lot, but it goes fast, okay? So here we go. Nice imaginary glass of water on your butt. Pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We got 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put it down. Not too bad, right? So keep belly compressed, super nice and tight up and in there, okay? Get your pelvic floor engaged and back neutral. So make sure you're not sagging, make sure you're not arched. You are flat neutral here. Pull the other side up, pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put it down. Other arm going out into that wide row. Reconnect with the core if you lost it. Wide out and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We got 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, here we go. Last set of these. So we're getting that shoulder blade stability, this closed chain activity. And then the other arm has got that open chain row. Pull it wide and pulse. 1, 2, 4, 5, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Put it down and go ahead and take a break. Whether you kneel back, side sit on your butt, if you don't like being on your knees. So the next exercise, we actually are going to be tall kneeling. So if that is a problem for your knees, please don't do it, okay? You can go back and do maybe some more curls with weight presses. We're gonna, or get back into that quadruped position and maybe do a regular bird dog type of option, okay? So we're working on some stability here. Grab your weight. You can grab either end, or again, you can goblet it, whichever one is comfortable. Knees are hip distance apart. Your feet are in alignment with your knees and hips. So make sure your feet are not together. I want them apart, okay? So if you're here, not here, in alignment, okay? All right, holding that weight by your chest, get that belly back, pelvic floor lifted. You're gonna do a lean. So we're leaning, and then kind of like before, I want you to push your weight out and see if you can lean just a couple more inches and hold. So kind of like our half roll back, except this is more back neutral and you're not in a C curve. But your quads should be on fire. Pull it in. Whew. Shake it out a little bit. Ready? All right, take a breath. Kick that core in. Lean back, press, and see if you can lean back a little more. Really getting those quads to engage. And bring it up and release it down. Normally I'm all like, hey, let's do 3 reps. But I don't know, it was a 2-rep kind of day with the half roll back and the back planks and the kneeling. So there you go, 2-rep kind of day. All right, we're gonna come into a side plank position. So pick a side, and we're gonna be on our forearm for this, and you need your weight, okay? Now, I'll show the leg options in a moment, but the arms are essentially, you're gonna pull your weight like across your chest and up to the ceiling and reverse it and lower down. So it's like a row with a flip into a press and coming back down. So be aware of shoulder on this one if that's bothersome. Now, your options for your legs. I can leave both knees down, getting belly back, pelvic floor in. I can extend one leg, or you can go to both legs straight, staggered, or stacked. So it's up to you. Grab your weight. All right, elbow should be under your shoulder. Make sure it's not wider here, because otherwise that's not a great position, kind of compromises the shoulder. It's not gonna feel right. So make sure that's right underneath your shoulder to start with. Coming up into that plank position, okay? And here we go. We're gonna pull it, flip, press 1. Core tight. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, 8, and hold it. and lower down. Lower the weight and then lower you. All right, other side. Nicely done. That weight overhead when we're holding it, it's like it just kind of causes enough of a little wiggle that you gotta control that extra weight. And because that limb is away from your body and not close to your body, again, that lever system is a little bit harder. So, who knew all those physics classes would come in handy someday? All right, so again, knee bent, straight one, both straight, stacker, stagger. Your option. Forearm down, elbow under your shoulder, and up we go. And you're ready? Belly back. Press. 1, 2. Exhale, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and hold, 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 hold. Lower the weight, lower the body, and release. Okay, we're gonna go onto our back. We've got 100 bridge pulses. So again, I know it sounds like a lot. It's not. I feel like this wasn't as bad as doing just a regular single set of bridges this week for some reason. But the weight is gonna be on our pelvis. So kind of like how we hooked it on our feet, we're gonna hook this right on our pelvis. So roll it on down. Holding either end. I'm going to anchor that right kind of in the crease of that hip area, and I'm just holding it there, okay? So it should be pretty comfortable. Now, feet, again, are hip distance apart. Make sure you're not super wide or super narrow. Hip distance apart. Knees are in alignment with those hips. Get that core set. You're going to press up into your high bridge, okay? And then we've got pulses. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 20, 30, 40, 50, you're halfway there. 60, 70, 80, 90, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, 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 hold. And lower down all the way. Take the weight off and then just pull those knees into your chest. Just get a little stretch on that. So again, just more of a pulse end range, and that should have felt different than doing like a full kind of range of motion up and down bridge. Just right at that very end of that. So we're gonna go ahead and come on up into standing. So grab a hold of one leg and roll yourself on up. However you want to get there. I'm going to grab one more sip of water as we're transitioning. So nice, it's finally summer here. Not to be freezing in my basement. Okay, now we're going to be doing standing, and we're going to be doing some plie pulses. Again, kind of pulse, right? So we're going to get some quad, some adductor, a little bit of glute stuff, some hamstring in with these plies. So grab that weight. And again, you can either hold it up and down, vertical. You can hold it parallel to the floor, whatever's comfortable, or no weight. So toes are nice and wide, cornered out, okay? Actually a little bit more than 45, take them pretty wide. As you plie down, if your knees pass over your toes, you gotta put your feet wider. So this, I don't want that. I actually want like a really wide plie. So if you're used to being like in a bar class position and you'd rather do something like that, totally fine, okay? If you can't tell, I'm pretty easygoing about what do you like to do? What works best for your body? Okay, you ready? You're gonna get way low, as low as you can get, and pulse. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. There's 50, but hold. Lift your right heel, or I've got my right, so it's your left, and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold. Switch heels. Pulse. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Pulse. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. Pulse. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Switch. Pulse. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Both heels down. Finish. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Hopefully you felt that. Bring it in and lower your weight. We get to stretch. Yeah, it's like my favorite part. So why don't we stay up for a moment and get down wide into that plie, okay? Hands above your knees. Drop down, press those knees back, and then I want you to press one shoulder forward, twisting, looking up. Other side. Take it center, hands to the floor, toes forward, straighten those knees, drop your chest. If your hands are not on the floor, that's fine. You can support it on shins or feet. Wherever you need to, or you can soften your knees a little bit if you want. See if you can walk your hands over to the right leg, grab hold of that ankle. Other leg. If there's a different hamstring stretch that you would like, please do it. Center one more time. Walk the feet in underneath the hips. And again, fold in half. You can do whatever you want with your arms. Soften your knees so your hands can touch the floor. And I want you to go ahead and lower yourself down on to hands and knees, and then lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Go ahead and reach back, grab a hold of a foot, stretch out that quad. If this is bothersome for that knee, do some range of motion with your leg, or again, a different quad stretch, or use a strap or a towel that you may have handy. Switch to the other foot. Relaxed breath, relaxed core. Come on up onto those elbows into Sphinx. Now pull that heart forward, lengthening your belly, extending the back. If that feels pretty comfortable and you want to take it a little bit further, press into the floor, coming into a full press up. Now I'm not in like an up dog, my thighs are not off the floor, leave them down. And relax, come on down. Press back to a child's pose again. Bring your feet together, knees a little wider on the mat. Drop down with that chest. Think about reaching and lengthening through your arms at the same time. And then we're gonna stretch our lats from here. So walk your hands over to one side. I'm just gonna yeet that away. Walk it to the other side. Bring it center. I'm going to do one more option. You can stay in your child's pose, or I'm going to drop it into puppy pose for a little bit more shoulder and thoracic extension, a little more length in my lats. So if you're coming to puppy pose, your hips are going to be over your knees. You're going to walk your hands out and you're going to drop your chest from there, trying to lay it down on the mat. You can come up to fingertips if you have that flexibility. And release it on up. Go ahead and press yourself back, come into sitting. Do just a couple little flexion extension rocks. So I'm gonna kind of sit up tall, over, kind of adjust my posture, round and flex, kind of starting with that same thing that we did in the very beginning of class here. Flexion extension, just a little bit of that spinal rocking. One more. Overemphasize and then let off to your perfect posture. And then take a deep breath in and out. And you guys are all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.